Sionagad, hello all. Oshta afternoon, good afternoon, and Wado for watching. Thank you for watching. So I'm going to tell you something that's a little personal in hopes that it can help you or somebody else understand that it's not okay. So this is a PSA in regards to dentists. So I had a family dentist that I'd gone to off and on since elementary. And I had been to other places and kind of just did not like the service and had some horror story type situations going on. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go back to that guy, right? I thought that it was fine. I didn't have any complaints. It's all that I knew. And I trusted him with my mouth, which is extremely personal because it's not, people, of course, they see your eyebrows first, but then they see your smile, especially I look at people's mouths because it helps me to hear better. So, I mean, that may sound whatever, but it's kind of like subtitles for TV shows. So, I had gone, I'm a heavy grinder, and I had gone to get some mouth guards over the counter, and I'm allergic to virtually every one of them every one that I've ever tried. So I'm not sure, I can't say that I'm allergic to all that's on the market because I literally have not tried all that's on the market. Let's be real. And what happens is it causes my gums to swell up, and I get these bumps all over them that look like sandpaper type bumps, but they don't feel like sandpaper, and it causes pain, a lot of itching. It just all depends on what the materials are. And I've talked about how I'm very sensitive to things in general. So for a while there, I went without a mouth guard. Because my go-to mouth guard that I could actually kind of tolerate, oh my God, it had this little V at the top. It was the one that is flimsy, and it just has two little sections that go on either side. It has one little thing that goes across the top, and it has a V for that little area where your lip connects to your gums. And you can either wear it flipped either way. And so I had been alternating because of the sensitivity I was having. And I thought, you know what? I can power through. And what it did was it totally jacked up that area for me. And then I couldn't bear it down below. And so I was just like, okay, I guess I'm just going to go a while without the mouth guard. Little did I know that I was grinding my front teeth down. My, the big front teeth, as well as a little bit of the ones that's next door, the one on either side that's next door, so the 4 front teeth. And I was grinding them down in a way that was a bit of an angle, and I didn't realize it until, because it's gradually over time, I didn't realize it until I saw a photo. And I was like, oh my God, we gotta go get this fixed. So went in to my family dentist, and he put on 4 crowns. Now, here's the deal. I took in a photo before I had done the damage, and it hadn't been long. I can't tell you exactly, so I'm going to tell you it was either 2 to 3 years beforehand, because I told you it gradually happened over time. Well, anyways, and I was like, I would like to have my pre-massive grinding experience smile, right? And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, what? And he goes, I'm not going to do that because that's not going to go along with your age. And I was like, what do you mean? It was literally 2 or 3 years ago. And he's like, no, you're going to tell everybody that I did that work. That work's mine, and I don't want it getting out in the community that I did that. And I was like, what? I'm not asking for you to reverse the hands of time and make my smile back to when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. I'm not asking that. And here I am in my 30s, right? Early 30s. And he's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, but I'm in a rock and a hard place. And we didn't have AI and all that kind of stuff to try and find a good dentist, right? So I didn't want to roll the dice on that. So it's okay. And I was like, and then also if you can just give me the length back, as far as don't put the slant in there. And he's like, I'll make you look really nice and blah, 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 whatever. I'm like, okay. And I'm going to send these molds in to the best place in Austin that we've used, and there's a waiting list because this place is so good. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, he knows something I don't know. And these people are going to go off of my molds and see what would be great for me, blah, blah, blah. And he's going to tell them that I was a heavy grinder and didn't wear a mouth guard, and they're going to restore my smile, right? Wrong. Yes, my smile got restored back to way better than what it was, but it's not me. And my slant was still there. And also on top of that, here's a kicker. On the longest front of the two front teeth, he left a little grinding groove. Yeah. So, and then on top of that, he also had them put in these ridges across my teeth vertically that go like out and in. And he said because it would help me eat better. I wasn't born with those ridges, folks. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, so they're about like, I don't know, 9 years. Oh yeah, 9 years old. They'll be 10 years old next year. And I say they because they are crowns, right? I wasn't born with them. So I had this crown start to pull away from my gum line. And because I had noticed when he installed these crowns for me that it wasn't going, like, you're not supposed to have a big gap between your crown and your gum. And he told me it was because of the trauma of putting the temporaries on and all that kind of stuff and grinding everything down originally and everything, that my gum receded in that area. No other place, just that area. Maybe it was a little sensitive, whatever, and it should come back down to normal. Well, it never came back down to normal. So I had that little post that he made, which he didn't do the vampire post. He did like the little square because he told me that they used to do the vampire post, right? But they found out over time that what lasts longer and is a stronger base is the little square post. I don't know nothing about it. And so the most natural tooth that you can keep will make it to where these crowns will last longer and be stronger for the person. I'm thinking I'm not biting through concrete or anything. I'm using common sense here, right? Anyway, and so I had that and was so proud of it because it was completely different from what I had before, although I was a little self-conscious about the fact that I knew about these other things, right? Well, anyways, so he made them the color that I asked for and all that, which matches a couple of other crowns I have. And anyways, so since it started pulling away, I noticed, okay, so in the gap, actually, let me just rewind a little bit. In that little gap differential area, there was a tiny, what looked like if you would take and make a dot on a paper with a really fine pen. It looked like that. It had no color except it was the color of like what my teeth were before. So I assumed that was just where that post was exposed or something. I don't know. I had no sensitivity, nothing like that. So I'm over there like making sure I'm brushing well and using a little the back end of a flosser to make sure that there's nothing in there and everything. And then over time, within like the last year, I would have to say, it started turning a different color over time. There's no odor, no nothing to it. And I'm like, I have no idea what it is. I just asked Copilot the other day, and it was like, oh, it could be the glue that was used or whatever was adhesive, changing color because it's exposed or whatever. But I know that the top of the crown is pulling away because whenever I smile super big, like it's a genuine, like my family calls it like the genuine smile or whatever, they know when I'm like giving what they call a 'tis the season, which is just like partial smile, like that. But the other one is where my lip curls up, which is my husband's favorite. He loves to make me smile so big that my lip curls up and becomes like really, really thin. Which you've seen it over time on videos, but since it's pulling away, like I'm just not going to show you my business, right? Anyway, so it looks like a piece of pepper. And you can catch me in some of my other previous videos where I just laugh and I see it and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it because I don't know how to edit and I'm not going to make the video again. But I mean, come on, right? Somebody's probably just going to think, oh, she ate some food. Anyway, or maybe they won't see it at all. Who knows? Because we're kind of self-conscious about those things that are dealing with like our face or just appearance in general, whatever. And so, whenever I smile that big like that and let it down, like let my lips return naturally, it'll catch on that crown. So I'm like, okay, well, I need some help in finding how do I get this replaced. I don't know. I'm afraid of finding somebody like that. Again, and I mean, it's a very intimate thing to work on somebody's mouth, right? So I went to Copilot, which is Bing's AI, and I asked for help, and I got this place in Pflugerville, which is really cool. So I just felt calm, cool, and collected. Great energy walking in, very nice vibe. Everybody was very personable and everything. And so the mock-ups that they gave me for my treatment plan and everything, it's just literally turning back the dial to massive grinding period that I had without a night guard. And I'm so grateful and thankful, and I'm very, I am just, it just feels like I feel like a big weight lifted off, and I know that I was guided to these people. But on another note, they literally, like on the x-rays, guess what, folks? My posts that he made me, they have cracks all the way across. We don't know how deep the cracks are. We don't know. So maybe it'll go from 4 crowns to some implants. Nobody wants to endure oral surgery for any reason, but let alone at the hands of something that they did not do themselves, right? Like I didn't have anything happen to me that this would come on, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know what caused it. They'll get in there and take a look and see if they can like diagnose it from there, help me out or whatever. But anyway, on another note, I will make another video another time on how I make my own toothpaste. Let me tell you, my old family dentist closed down his practice a couple of years back. And because we've been so like, oh my God, right, over our experiences there, that we, didn't want to take the plunge unless we had to. I wanted to make sure that nobody's gonna find anything wrong with my mouth. So I came away with no cavities, and the dental hygienist was like, man, you would take really good care of your teeth. And I was like, girl, you have no idea. Like, I'm really trying here. I don't want to have to be in here for anything. I don't want anybody to say anything about my teeth because they're precious to me. So anyway, I'll share that recipe, and I only just started using that recipe like in the last 3 months or so, because before that I was using Dr. Bronner's peppermint, because I really like their cinnamon, but I couldn't find that, and I guess they discontinued that toothpaste, so I got a huge bulk batch on eBay. I've even given some of it away and stuff because we had I don't know, over 100 tubes or something crazy. But I noticed that my teeth, my mouth wasn't feeling as clean, and also my breath. It was just dang, and you'd have even the morning breath, when you wake up, my husband would be like, what cat poops in your mouth? And anyway, so I was just like, yeah, there's got to be a better way. And I saw a recipe on Dr. Berg's YouTube channel for toothpaste, making your own toothpaste. And I was like, I could totally do that. And so I just kind of put it off for a little bit, and then finally I just got the urge just to do it. I did it, and I've never looked back. It literally feels like you went to the dentist and had a cleaning. It just is that good. No smelly breath, no cat poop, no nothing died in my mouth when I got it, you know what I mean, overnight, the bacteria and stuff. It totally helps out with the pH. It's really cool. Anyways, thanks for listening. I need to go home and get you in a good shot. Love you, mean it.